Good morning and welcome back to Troglodyte Radio, where you get the news when it's news, not history. Now today I want to talk about some old news, which is new news, and now it's current again because somebody got killed last night with a gun. And people are out screaming, we got to get rid of the guns. Get the guns off the street. We need more laws. And then we're going to sue some manufacturers, and we're going to make it hard for people to buy and sell guns. That's not the way it's supposed to work, folks. You see, because if only good guys had guns, there wouldn't be any problem, would there? But it ain't always the good guys that have guns, because bad guys steal guns. And then, of course, the Obama administration, and they just hand them out to the drug cartels, and the drug cartels filter them back in the United States because he don't care. Anyway, that's a different rant for a different day. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you some answers. Today, the Troglodyte is going to solve your problems if you pay attention. Number one, you don't need more gun laws. There's over 200 gun laws on the books right now as we speak across this country. Different gun laws that make it really, really hard for everybody except a bad guy to function with a firearm. Now, can you imagine that? So, here's the deal. About 15 years ago, the police departments were involved with alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. It was the regulator of firearms. And they said, okay, here's what we're going to do for you. You catch me a bad guy, we're going to tack 5 years onto whatever sentence he gets, and we're going to call it federal. That lasted for about 6 months. Because here in Kansas City, they were catching too many bad guys with guns, and they overloaded ATF's ability to deal with it. So they dropped the program. But that's the only way that's going to work. Bad guys have to go to jail for a long time if they do bad things with guns. Okay, so that's number one. Now, number two. A lot of times it's not intentional bad guys that do bad things with guns. Sometimes it's idiots. And sometimes it's people with serious mental problems. And then sometimes it's just careless handling. The gun didn't do all that by itself, nor did the manufacturer, nor did the salesman that sold it, nor did the guy that bought it. They didn't do all that wrong. But you see, when an idiot gets hold of a gun, or a person with a mental problem gets hold of a gun, they don't have the capacity to understand what that gun can do at the time. So I think it's time to deal with those in less than full mental capacity. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to call them idiots anymore because you can't put them all in the same category. So let's go back again a few years ago, before all this political correctness bullshit came out. If I had a child who was starting to display a mental problem, and I thought this was serious enough that he may hurt me or may hurt somebody else, I could go to the family doctor, and the doctor could order an evaluation. Yeah, we'd have to go to the court to get it, but we could get it. And if the kid was doing something really stupid and displaying those problems right now and scaring people into thinking this may be serious enough that somebody might lose life or limb, we could call the police department. They'd come and snatch this guy up and take him down to a place where he can be mentally evaluated, and they would hold him for 72 hours. Now, okay, let's say that this is back in effect today. So do you think maybe if this person gets put in this mental facility, or his doctor orders him to be mentally evaluated, do you think maybe we shouldn't move that information on around to the federal government where they can take this information and put it to a database, so when old Johnny Jones applies for a permit to buy a gun, they're going to say, no, you're nuts, you can't have one. Okay, this would have stopped Columbine, because we had 2 kids with nuts there. Okay, the psychologist's wife, or psychologist's child that shot up the school, she bought him an AR. Well, that was stupid on her part. You know, she should have been put in jail. She should have had her ass locked up, but unfortunately he got to kill her first. I had my choice. I'd dig the bitch up and put her in jail. Still wasn't nothing left but her bones, and then I'd bury her again. Anyway, that's the way you're going to stop gun violence, and that's the only way. You've got to stop idiots. You've got to stop bad guys and leave the good people with their own guns alone. Now that's my rant for the day. I've gone a little longer than I usually do, but I hope maybe you've learned something. Anyway, have a great day, and the troglodyte is out.